On the keto diet, ditch the cheat day. So are your cheat days going to give you a fucking grabber? This was published, once I stumbled into Science Daily, it was a fucking rabbit hole of content for me. I was just like, I can make fucking videos on this stupid shit all the time. The often embraced cheat day is a common theme of many diets, and the popular ketogenic diet is no exception. I myself partake in a cheat day every couple weeks, and it's usually one item added to my otherwise ketogenic food. Definitely not healthy. Definitely might fuck me up a little. It is what it is. Could I be healthier? Probably. But I do like some of the foods that I do occasionally. I'm not addicted, and I can go extremely long periods of time without eating this shit. So I'm not worried about that. I'm just to the point where, all right, every once in a while I'm going to join my social friends in eating shitty foods occasionally. But not more than, not like every weekend. I know people that have cheat days every weekend, and that's really going to fuck you up. I know I set myself back each time I have a cheat day. So I do know that. But not quite to the degree that these motherfuckers are claiming. The often embraced cheat day is kind of, okay, I already read that. But new research says that just one 75-gram dose of glucose, which is a lot. And if you've ever had a cheat day where you've had like a soda or one of the, I haven't even never done that. But like I've had a cookie that was oversweetened with sugar once. It had like 56 grams. I was like, oh my God, look at this fucking death thing that I'm eating. It was an oatmeal raisin cookie. So it had glyphosate in it too. So there was that. But it was pretty close to this level of sugar in one fucking cookie. And I was like, God damn, this is going to destroy me. It probably was. The equivalent of a large bottle of soda or a plate of fries. I've done potatoes too on my cheat, along with potatoes probably fried in vegetable oil, which is another factor that they're not talking about in this. While on a high-fat, low-carb diet can lead to damaged blood vessels. So my cheat day apparently is going to make me have a grabber. The often embraced cheat day. Okay, we already read that. They just repeated themselves. The ketogenic diet has become a very common one in weight loss and management, blah, 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 blah. It consists of eating foods rich in... No, we know that. Little of the diet effective because once the body is composed, started to fuel glucose. Okay, we know that. I'm just trying to skim down to something that's going to piss me off probably. We were interested in fighting out what happens to the body physiology. So everyone knows your glucose tolerance is low when you're on a fat adapted on a ketogenic diet. You're going to feel like shit if you have a huge influx of glucose. This is normal. It is also transient. It will not last. If you continue to have glucose, your glucose tolerance is going to rise. Plain and simple. When you're going a long time and you fucking suddenly get the drug again, the drug's going to be more effective than if you eat it all the time. So, there is absolutely no evidence of this in the anecdotal community. I have not seen anybody who has cheat days have their health markers go the other way. There's people that get their little heart scans and do all of this shit. I've had no reports of this. I've seen no anecdotal data on it whatsoever. That being said, apparently it fucked some rats up. Do I trust it? I don't trust that a lot coming out of the scientific community yet, so I'm kind of wondering what they're getting at. There's a lot of money in cardiovascular disease, particularly from the statin and that kind of shit. So anything they can do to get us away from this diet, they're working on it. So let me get to the chat. I realize I've neglected the chat a little, so... Let me get back to chat. Came in chat. All right. Ryan Drysdale, just spit my coffee out. LOL. Take my shirt off every time I see the camera. Yeah, it's Thomas DeLauer. That's what he does. Food, let me guess, rat versions of junk food. Absolutely, that's correct. Yelva, the worst thing that happens to me after a large meal is a nap. Foo, although there's sometimes my tummy doesn't like it either, I don't always have that nap thing, after a large meal. That's the thing. I think it depends on what the meal is. There's times when I do a large meal, carnivore in particular, will take a bit out of me, but I haven't needed to sleep. I go to bed like a brick, though. When it comes time to go to bed, even if I drank coffee all the way up to the bitter end, it's fucking, yeah. So, for the most part, though, my energy's consistent. And it's in large part due to the things that I'm talking about, where I'm making sure I'm taking in enough calories. And I'm not afraid to go over the needle a little bit, because I'd rather ramp my metabolism up than have it go down. Foo, I don't listen to most of what DeLauer says, to be honest. He had the six-pack abs thing a while ago, and he's worked hard. He puts that himself out there, like, this is what you're going to look like if you do these things. No, this is what it's going to look like if you also spend half your fucking time, your free time, in the gym every day, pumping. And there are some accusations of other things that I don't know if that's a factor, but let's just say he worked hard to get those gains. It's not something, unless that is your goal, to have those gains, that most average motherfuckers are going to do. They might be all fired up in the beginning. They'll go to the gym and do all that shit. But you got to realize, somebody who gets that swole has been fucking working out a lot, consistently, over the course of many years, to get those gains. And it's meticulous. It's bodybuilding. Some people want to do that. I don't want to do that. If you came to my channel hoping that you was going to learn how to get gains, there's like no gains. See, I'm gain deficient. I haven't been to the gym in quite a while. I can hike up a mountain though, so there's that. Foo, yeah, it's crazy how many carbs and fat they manage to stuff into the processed foods with all being devoid of protein. And Foo, that's exactly what they're feeding those rats that Thomas DeLauer was talking about. So I think we're all caught up there. Oh no, I meant to have six-pack abs channel on YouTube a while back. Oh, he had six-pack abs? He had a different channel before that? I don't know. I didn't get into him till like later. There was a guy, I forget his name, but he was one of the first weight loss people I watched, and it was all eat less, move more, bodybuilding shit. That's where I first started to, because I was looking to lose weight, so I started to do what I told me to do. Go to the gym and fucking eat less, move more, eat whole foods, eat salads all the time and shit. And, I started looking into that, and here I am today, sitting in my chair at perfectly normal body weight and health levels. I'm good. We're good. I like this method better than that method. I'm just saying. Two different ways. One is taking the long way to get there. The other is the short way. And I believe eating keto, intermittent fasting, is the short path. It takes a little longer. You're going slower on it. But it's the shortest distance between the 2 points in my book. All right. I don't know if that made sense. So let's get back to finishing. We're almost ready to wrap this shit up. In other keto news, this is from April of this year. Keto diet has potential in the military. So it turns out we're too fat to defend the country now. I can speak directly to this, as the reason I only did 10 years in our military is I got fat. And they were telling me to eat less, move more, and I eat less and moved more. Did Atkins for a while. That was probably the most successful I was. Of course, it wasn't Atkins as we know it today. It was Atkins back then, which did not give a shit how much fat you took in. It was all about eating meat. Eat lots of meat. Don't eat anything else. No degree of knowledge that we've achieved today was to be had during my time back then, and I very quickly fell off of Atkins. Why? Because I was all about protein and I didn't emphasize the fat enough. Therefore, I was eating too much protein. Probably rabbit starvation was becoming an issue because I wasn't taking in enough calories from fat. So that's a thing. Can't overeat protein. You're supposed to eat the same amount of meat on keto as you would if you were on any other diet. And then the rest, instead of carbs, you're taking in fat. That's the only difference. The meat level stays the same. If you overeat meat and you undereat fat, you get what's called rabbit starvation. You can Google that shit. It's a real thing. It's well documented. And yeah, I don't want to do that. So, a new study has researchers hopeful that the ketogenic diet could prove useful in the military, where obesity is an ongoing challenge, both in terms of recruiting soldiers and keeping them fit for service. The Ohio State University study includes 29 people, most of whom were members of the campus ROTC. For 3 months, 15 of the participants followed the ketogenic diet and a comparison group of 14 peers. So they were able to get fat adapted in that 3-month period. Ketogenic diets are low in carbohydrates and emphasize moderate consumption of protein, while fat is consumed to satiety. They aim to create the state of nutritional ketosis, which occurs when the body burns fat rather than carbohydrates for energy. The ketogenic diet is often used to control seizures and okay, we know that. Jesus Christ, I always got to bring up the fucking seizure thing. We haven't worried about seizures for keto in a long time. That was done science in the 20s. Let's move on from we know. All right? It's not just for epileptics. You don't have to put that biased horse shit in your article, Science Daily. In a study which appears in the Journal of Military Medicine, participants who did the keto diet lost an average of 17 pounds. And keep in mind, that was over a 3-month, 3 months? Yep. Over a 3-month period, they lost 17 pounds, which is pretty good. It's not fast. It's not huge. But they got the shit done. If you think about it, pound a day, if you're doing a fast. If you put it in those terms, it's the equivalent of 17 days of fasting. Without fasting, there's no mention of fasting in this. They were allowed to eat whenever. They weren't regulated in calories or anything. They weren't told to do anything except eat specific macros. That's it. As a group, they lost more than 5% of their body fat, almost 44% of their belly or visceral fat,
American ever
and had
lived.
48% improvement in insulin sensitivity. Didn't we just fucking read some shit that said that that's the opposite of what was this other study that we were, I'm just saying, a little contradictory science there, but this was done by pretty much the forefathers of keto, which is Volek and Stephen Finney, are the researchers that did this experiment. So they lost all of their 44% of their belly, and they had a 48% improvement in insulin sensitivity, which is obviously different than what this article is saying here. And it sounds like they were doing the same thing. Although a relatively small research project, this is the largest published study of a well-formulated ketogenic diet in military personnel, said Jeff Volek, who's a star. If you're not familiar with Jeff Volek, you should be. Work on it. Ketogenic diets in the study included no caloric restrictions, just guidance about what to eat and what to avoid. Carbs were restricted to 30 to 50 grams daily, with an emphasis on nuts and non-starchy vegetables. Food was also provided either as groceries the keto dieters could use to prepare meals themselves, or pre-prepared frozen meals. So they gave them the food. That's pretty good science. That's a lot better than the fucking questionnaire epidemiology that vegans like to fucking throw around. Keto diet participants had near daily check-ins during which they reported blood ketone measurements. So if they dropped out of ketosis, they knew they fucked up. Just saying. So we had accountability. It's another good factor in strong science, along with duplicatability. Keto measurements from a self-administered finger prick, they could potentially just have a buddy that was keto and be like, hey, can you be my keto blood buddy today? So there's that. So I guess there could be some shady shit going on. I'm sure the vegans would focus on that. Ketosis was defined as blood concentrations of ketones, chemicals made. Okay, we know what ketones are. If you don't know what ketones are, you should Google it. It's important. Depending on their readings, we would talk about their food and drink choices and suggest adjust their diet to maintain ketosis. Both groups, whose schedules included regular resistance training, showed comparable physical performance, as in both of them did the same in the Fuckmaster. There was the Fuckmaster pounding went well. This was important because it's difficult to lose weight without losing some lean mass and physical function, Volek said. We showed that a group of people with military affiliation could accept a ketogenic diet and successfully lose weight, including visceral adipose tissue, a type of fat stored that's associated with chronic disease. This could be the first step towards a bigger study looking at potential benefits of, good luck getting funding for that. Good luck. I wish you lots of luck. I hope we get there, but I'm not really holding my breath on that one. You're not going to get funding for that unless it's crowdfunding. The study results can't come with caveats. The group that followed the ketogenic diet chose to be in the test groups, something that scientists call self-selection. So here's Science Daily trying to take a shit on the study with this particular sentence. And yeah, it's not a huge study. It wasn't done over a year. I mean, there's a whole kinds of questions that didn't get answered by this study, but it's a good first step, as was acknowledged by Jeff Volek up here. So, yeah, they're going to try and take a shit on it a little bit. The keto group also had higher average BMI at the start of the study, as in they were fatter than the comparison group. So, they actually had more weight to lose. So, I don't know. Does that fuck the data up that you just chose? I would think you would want this to be consistent for both groups. You would want both of them to be in this range instead of one group having less fat to lose. That's a factor. So, yeah, there's a flaw in the study. That's a legit thing. Good job, Science Daily. I still don't like you, but, you know, at least you're doing your homework a little bit. About 7 in 10 people who were otherwise eligible to enter the military service are considered unfit because of their weight. Yeah, they haven't changed that, have they? That's why I'm not in. Officers or trainees in the military could likely maintain a ketogenic diet based on foods that are already offered at typical meals, but more options can be added to support this weight loss strategy. Volek also added that the military has called obesity a national security crisis, one that potential benefits of the diet. So yeah, blah, blah, blah. So yeah, our military. If it's good enough for our military, if the government's ready to push it on our soldiers to maintain national security, why is it not good enough for our food guidelines? Things that make you go, fuck. And shit. And fucking shit. All right. And also from Science Daily, low-carb diet tied to common heart rhythm disorder. I'm going to sum this up with blah, 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 epidemiology, blah, 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 questionnaire, blah, 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 data points, epidemiology, blah, 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 blah. As in, if you look through this, that's all it's worth. So there's that. All right, let's get to the comments, and then we'll wrap this podcast up for the day. And shit. I'm going to dig back a bit and let's see here. Let me put the chat back on the window here. All right. I'm scrolling way up, so I'm... let me see here. Waldemar, 75 grams of glucose. Waldemar, 75 grams... Yeah, I was reading the wrong section. My bad, Waldemar. Foo, I don't think he's cheating with watermelon or sweet potato is cheating, to be honest. My cheats are usually something bad. I'm just like, I had mozzarella sticks on my last cheat day, which consequently I looked up doesn't put me over my 50 grams for the day since I ate no other carbs that day. But at the same time, I know I got vegetable oil in that mix. I got glyphosate. There's grain on the outside of it. It's, you know, it's bad. At the same time, it was mostly fat. You know, it's mozzarella inside of breading, baked in the worst fucking vegetable oil you can imagine. But that's what happens when you eat out. So it's either that or never eat out. My solution is to have a cheat day once every couple of weeks where I can eat out and I don't get all bent out of shape about it. It means I'm not orthorexic, apparently. But, you know, it works. Yelva, I was craving honey. I got a piece of real honeycomb and ate a small cube of it. I was completely satisfied with that. Yelva, that's the thing I find with my cheat days, because I keep them so spaced out. I don't get re-addicted. I'm fine with just a little bit. I don't need to have a binge or a full meal or a full day. It's like, okay with my meal for the day, because I typically eat one meal a day and one snack if I've had a desire to, but it's mostly one meal a day. During that meal, if I'm having a cheat day, I'll add something that is not keto and not even good for you necessarily, with the caveat of my tastes have changed. I'm not into heavily sugared things anymore. Lightly sugared, yeah. Heavily sugared, no. It's too sweet for me now. Every time I've tried to have a baked good at a restaurant as on my cheat day, I was like, okay, I'll have that piece of cheesecake now. It's nauseatingly sweet. As in, I couldn't finish it. It's fucking so sweet. They put way too much sugar in that shit. Just saying. Oh, one man band. I'm sorry I didn't see you come in. Thanks for I don't know if you're still here, but thanks for coming and hanging out a little bit. We're talking about being healthy and shit today. What's occurring? We talking bad foods? Yeah, we were talking about keto. We were talking about hormones and being fat as fuck and unhealthy as fuck. Mithril. We need this shit in hospitals. Hubby had a heart attack in July, and they were giving him about 90 carbs per meal. I hear you. There's nothing more frustrating than the place where we're supposed to go and get fixed from these chronic diseases are the ones fucking poisonous. They poison you, and then they bring in your fucking pharmaceuticals afterwards. Don't get me started. I'm triggered. Fucking triggered. I'm sorry that your husband had a heart attack, though. I hope he gets better. Tell him to go keto and tell him not to eat that 90 carb fucking meal. Fast your way through that shit, if you can. Fasting is an option if you're stuck in the hospital and they're feeding you crap. Hospital food in the UK is nasty. That's a true story, one make band. But it's like that here in the United States, too. I think we taught the UK on how to properly destroy your health in terms of... I don't know who started that shit. I don't know if your country started or my country, but we both fucked this thing up, and we're both unhealthy as fuck because of it. The UK, I believe, has a lot of the same problems that we have over here in terms of health. Thank you for the diamond, Victoria. I'm glad you liked the stream. I spent the whole day fucking putting all these articles and shit together, so I hope something useful came out of it. I don't know if I made sense a lot. Let's see here. I broke my tailbone and had 3 operations a few weeks. I saw that when I was watching your stream. How are you doing with that? Are you on anything else besides weed for that? I mean, you're on that opioid shit? I hope not. I don't want to see you addicted to that. That shit's bad stuff. But if you're on weed, you shouldn't need opioids, I don't think, as far as pain goes. Big Rig Rex just read an article about a guy who only ate bacon for a month, said his blood work came back excellent, and his BP went down. Imagine that. Bacon's a health food. I'm all good. I was on codeine for a bit, just weed now. Well, I'm glad that you're recovering. It sucks, though. I had a broken ankle, and I was down. That's when I started my whole YouTube channel. I was in the house, fucking bored, and I'm like, you know what? Let's just be a YouTuber. And I started filming myself, and it wasn't until about, I'd say, almost a year after that I started to realize I was a fat fuck. I was unhealthy. I was pre-diabetic. My blood pressure was climbing, and I started to say, you know what? I'm falling apart, and I'm going to be 300 pounds soon if I don't stop. And that's what led me to do this shit today, So it's been almost 5 years now. It's a long way to come. So... bad things always bring good things. That's true. If I wouldn't have broke my leg, I probably wouldn't have been motivated to get my health in order. To be honest with you, I think that was the thing that started the ball rolling. I'm trying to fix myself.
I think I'm gonna get me some.
Thanks, T. Butler, for the 2D fucking fruity and shit. I wonder if if you notice, I'm not using the styrofoam bullshit anymore.
Greatest American ever lived.
I'm almost environmentalist and shit. Thank you, One Mink Band. I'm definitely going to have to hang out in your next stream for the diamond and shit. Sue, I think I turned to food for serotonin boost. You might not be wrong there. Certain foods are precursors to serotonin. If you're not taking in these things, then you cannot make serotonin, which is, for those of you who don't know, that's the hormone in your brain that leads to contentment and satisfaction and reduces stress. Not a lot of that going on in our lives, but you'll know it when you feel it. It's a feeling of calm, of peace. It's that nap that you take after the turkey dinner. That, life is good. Well, turns out tryptophan is a big component used in producing serotonin. Tryptophan comes from 2 sources. You can eat it directly from eggs, from poultry, those kinds of things, or your gut bacteria, assuming your gut bacteria isn't fucked up by glyphosate and all that other shit, will also produce tryptophan. And if you fuck your gut health up, guess what you're not going to be able to do, which could be associated with depression. So if you suffer from depression, this is another thing that could be fucking with you. And it turns out, when you look at the fact that our gut health is tied directly to depression, particularly when you see the studies that show that depression aligns with severe inflammation, it's no fluke that carnivores are curing their depression. It's no fluke that I have been depression-free for as long as I have now. All because I've taken certain foods out of my diet, which I know are contributing to my leaky gut, which are contributing to depression and anxiety. Now, it's not perfect. I'm not sitting here saying I got the big happy hat on all the time. I'm just not laying in bed wishing death upon myself. That used to be a regular thing. I'm glad I'm out of that. So, what you eat is, if you're having mental health struggles, is something you should look at if you ever want to stop with the mental health struggles. I'm not here to say it cures anything. There's more than one factor in depression. I'm still researching that myself because I don't want to go back. That was hell. I don't want to go back to those depression eras. And I know I play with fire if I have a cheat day too. Hasn't happened yet. So evaluate, if you're suffering from depression, evaluate the foods you're eating, even if you're keto. Because I did experience some mild depressions on keto that I don't experience when I'm mostly carnivore. So it's a thing. Something to look at. Big Rig Rex, will you ever do a series on your past life as an angry trucker?
Greatest American ever
lived.
lived.
That one a while back. That was some good entertainment. A lot of those old videos will not fly today in our modern fucking censored YouTube environment. So maybe I'll revisit some of those. But for the most part, that's the old me. And the only reason I brought up that wasn't for entertainment. It was to show you the contrast between me from being a fat piece of shit, upset trucker to a skinny asshole YouTuber that I am today. There's a lot of intermediate steps in between those. But I just wanted to, not even just to show you guys, but also for myself. It's good to go back, and it's great that I have a record of my life back then that I can go back to and say, wow, that is a piece of shit. I am doing good. I'm going to stay on this course because I am not that anymore. I think we all need a little bit of that self-accountability in our lives if we're going to fucking improve ourselves. Just my thoughts there. No Sugar Life, thank you for celebrating 2 months as a subscriber to my stream. Appreciate you, badass motherfucker. Badass and shit. Thank you for the diamond, One Mank Band. Your words are so true. You're a sound bullet. Well, thank you. And I'm honestly, I'm impressed that you're actually interested in this. I didn't take you as a healthy, like you were into health at all, to be honest with you. I like your channel because of your videos and how you cut them with the music and stuff. And I like that you're finding shit that doesn't pop up on my feed, which is one of the things I get out of watching reaction streams, is I might not otherwise watch those videos. And I'm just like, yes. So if you're in here, you should definitely follow One Mank Band. He's got a nice channel. He does music and shit. He, it's like a DJ thing. And I especially like when he cuts through the video. So check out his channel. It's on my watch list for when, I'm in the D-Live mood. Haven't had time since I was working the wedding this week to catch up with everyone's streams, but next week, hopefully. But we'll see. Food. Depression is hell, and spot on about the cheat days. Yeah, you are playing with fire if depression is something that you're avoiding. And I know, even my little minor cheat days, I know I'm playing with fire. I know it could backfire on me, and I won't know it till a couple days later that I fucked up. And then you're in the depression, and you're just like, it's hard to snap yourself out of it. You just kind of get in that pit. And I haven't had to go back to the pit yet. I don't want to be in the pit Fuck the pit. Badass Gyro Spin Up. If I get some roast beef at a deli, wrap it in cheddar cheese and 2 hard-boiled eggs, is that dirty keto or cheap, clean keto? Deli roast beef is processed. Probably has some shit in it. It's healthier than...
Shit the bed! Well, howdy, folks!
It's healthier than having a motherfucking sub. But it's not as healthy as getting organic meat and cooking it up at home and doing that. Whenever you eat out, you do not have control of what they're doing to your food. You don't know the meat quality. You don't know if they're processing it. You don't know if they're adding shit to it. You don't know if they're cooking with vegetable oil, if it's cooked meat. There's a number of, like Subway, dirty keto. You go in, have a bowl, it's salad. It's like, oh, I'm healthy and shit. You go to McDonald's, have you a salad. It's not healthy, all right? But it's better than the standard American diet. You will be healthier than a standard American dieter. You will not be as healthy as somebody who cooks all their own meals and eats organic and does all of that. So it's a spectrum. I would rather have you be dirty keto than not keto at all. And there's plenty of people who have gotten pretty far on their journey on dirty keto, including myself. There was over a year of taking the buns off the hamburgers, and you know, if it wasn't for the fat in my coffee, I don't know I would have pulled it off, to be honest with you, because the fat that they add to shit out there in the world is usually vegetable oil. It's hard to get real butter on your shit in restaurants. But at the same time, I'm about to go traveling, and dirty keto is going to be one of the ways I get through it, along with some fasting. So we'll see how that goes. Let's see. Victoria, carnivore diet makes me feel calm, steady, vegan before, so upset and emotional always. And I think that isn't just isolated to keto or to vegans, Victoria. I believe standard American dieters have poor mental health because of the diet that they're on. You could debate who's more mentally stable, a standard American dieter or a vegan. Plus, you can be both as a vegan. But yeah, the calm on carnivore is unparalleled. It is better than any drug they ever tried to put me on for depression or anxiety. Just hands down. If they could bottle that shit, they'd be in the money, which is why they fucking hate it. They can't bottle it. If they can't bottle it, guess what? That's bad for you. That's what science is going to tell you. That's what all the fucking media is going to tell you. Oh, you didn't get a pill? It's bad for you. It's going to cause this. You're going to have a grabber. You know, when you look at it. This is the kind of crap you're going to see. Where is it? You're going to see the ditch to cheat J. And what are you going to see up here? This fucking, what was the other one? I'm going to have a stroke. Something like that. Here we go. You're going to see shit like this. This is all industry-funded horseshit based on weak epidemiology. And you want to know how you can tell that it's fucked up? There's a sentence in here. There we go. You'll see something like this. Low carbohydrate diets were associated with increased risk of incident of AFib, regardless of the type of protein and fat used to replace the carbohydrate. When you see the keywords here, you know epidemiology. We're associated in increased risk. This could be like a 1% greater chance. So that's enough to put you on a statin, by the way. 1% difference. But they use the relative risk model, which makes it inflated. Oh, it was a 17% increase. Yeah, you went from 1% to 2%. Yay. It's worth it, right? But this is the bullshit. And I'm going to keep digging articles like this up because I think someone needs to point this shit out and what to look for on the crap that they're feeding us. Fucking media. And yeah, Science Daily, I'm talking to you. One man band. I do a lot of mountain biking. I broke my tailbone, have PTSD, and suffer from anxiety and depression. I feel your words. Well, maybe you can look into it, you know, while you're recovering. Maybe change your diet up a little. Try it out. It only takes 6 weeks to try it. You know, you can go keto. If you're severely anxious and depressed, I would even go so far as carnivore. But I would say do 6 to 8 weeks of keto first. See how you feel. I noticed an immediate improvement in my anxiety levels when I first went keto. As in, I don't have any. You know, my anxiety is the first thing that went away, along with a lot of my allergies. It wasn't until I started experimenting carnivore that I got depression free. But there's another variable. I quit drinking too. So that was around the same time that I went mostly carnivore. So was it the alcohol? Was it the going carnivore? I don't know. I'm not currently strict carnivore. Even tonight, I had a bowl of pizza toppings. Whenever I get in a pizza mood, I don't get the dough. I just get a bowl. I put mozzarella cheese in it. I put some fucking pepperoni and a little bit of low-carb pizza sauce in there. Stir that shit up. Eat it with a fork. It's just like having pizza. And any pizza toppings you like, you could probably put it in there because they're probably keto, unless it's like pineapple or something. Nobody wants that. Don't do pineapple. It's illegal. It's been banned. And shit. But experiment, man. I didn't really stumble onto the depression thing till the last year of my journey. And damn, it would have saved me a lot of fucking problems. It would have saved me a lot of over drinking too and self-medication. So yeah, I would totally look into it if you got the time. I mean, worst case scenario, you try it for 6 weeks and you realize it's not for you. Some people try it though and realize they don't want to go back to feeling the way they did before. So I would give it serious consideration if you are suffering from anxiety or depression, particularly if you're to the point where you're medicated. Although if you're medicated, you should consult your doctor because he has your best interests at heart. That's why he gave you that medication in the first place. And it's clearly working, right? If it's working good, I'm not a doctor. I'm just some dickhead on the internet wearing dorky headphones talking and shit. So, but if I were you, because I was you, kind of, I would look at the diet. There's no harm in it. There's no study anywhere that says 6 weeks on a ketogenic diet murders you. So at the very least, you got nothing to lose by trying. As far as fasting, from what I've seen of your stream, you look like a normal body weight motherfucker, so I don't think you need a lot of fasting in your life. You can just do keto. And, I don't know, try it out. A lot of people come to my channel. I don't know if you're familiar with my YouTube channel, but a lot of people have been telling me over the years about these things, anecdotally. And I get letters all the time. I went carnivore and this went away. I went carnivore and that went away. You can use carnivore as a baseline once you've been keto for a while, but I think the first thing you'll notice is a lot less hunger and less anxiety. I think that'll happen without going carnivore, depending on how your ketogenic diet is formulated, so to speak. But yeah, I'd look into it. One mink ban. Maybe, you never know. You never fucking know. And shit. Let's see. I understand that. Just wondered if they carved off the hunk that was dirty. I guess it is. I used to work at Arby's a long time ago. It's part-time while I was in the military too. The thing that I had to put in there for roast beef was not anything that looked like something that was carved off a fucking cow. It looked like something that was shat out of a machine. Probably literally. It is not good meat. It'll get you through in a pinch. And I'll eat cold cuts every now and then. But I don't consider it healthy. Honestly, organic ribeyes, that's my health food. I know I'm healthy when I'm eating that. If I'm eating cold cuts, I'm just like, okay, I know I'm not great, but it'll get me through. It's a spectrum. Honestly, you got to think about it in terms of sustainability too. If eating that processed meat keeps you keto, keeps you on the diet, then I'm all for it. Because otherwise, the alternative is you leave the diet and you go back to eating that crap, that polluted crap that is in all of our fucking stores, all of our fucking restaurants, and you'll go back to being unhealthy. It's guaranteed. Happens every time. Every time I see someone leave keto and go back to that diet, everything that they worked hard and got there to achieve goes back to the way it was. Some things may be even worse, especially in the mental health department, I think. don't go back. You know, and if dirty keto keeps you from going back, then fucking go to Walmart, go to Subway, get you one of them salad bowls and load it up with meat. Go to Burger King, pick that fucking glyphosate bun off of there and hope it didn't contaminate the meat too bad, and realize that that meat's probably not the best meat. But still, I'd rather have you do that than just saying fuck it. And if that's what it takes to keep you on the diet, absolutely. You have my fucking seal of approval there. Something is better than nothing. And it's impossible to be healthy eating the food that's in 80% of our fucking food in our grocery stores and almost 100% of the food that we eat in restaurants. At least here in the United States. I can't speak for all countries. So. Let's see here. Food, depression, anxiety, and ADHD pretty much cured on carnivore, not to mention the weird allergies that all went away. I have experienced, I don't know that I had ADHD. Well, maybe, I don't know. Maybe I do. I don't know. I can't self-diagnose everything. But, yeah, I hear that a lot, Fu. And that's one of the reasons I tried carnivore. You know, when you look at Amber O'Hearn, that's someone you can Google if you're curious, especially if you're curious about the mental health, because she did 8 years of carnivore and got off depression meds. Michaela Peterson, though, I've got some problems with the Petersons lately. But, you know, I still appreciate, you know, that their message, but at the same time, there's something going on there. I'm not sure. I can't put my finger on it. But she's one of the reasons I tried carnivore for depression. And, you know, it just goes to show the power of fucking our nutrition in terms of mental health. So. Fu, how are you? Badass gyro spin up. If I ate like Dr. Berg says, I might be calling the glyphosate lawyer. That's probably true. Although Berg has a little bit of awareness of glyphosate. He's covered it a few times, but I don't think he emphasizes it enough. Dubinsky, Scott, your ADHD is fuck. You might be right. I don't know. I do get distracted easily. I don't know that that's what ADHD is described as exactly. I don't know. You know what? I'm going to ask Google if I'm ADHD. Google knows everything. It can diagnose my mental health. There's a test. I saw there's a test. I just want to look at the symptoms. Look at that. My phone's listening to me. I'm not paranoid. I'm good. I'm glad that my phone answered it before I typed it. That's always good. Symptoms of... I don't know that I want to read an ad. What are the 9 symptoms of ADHD? Self-focused behavior. Common sign of ADHD. It looks like the inability to recognize other people's needs or desires. I don't know that I qualify for that one. I think I need to click this. Let me see. You know, I do think a lot of people are misdiagnosed with this, by the way. Just going to say. But we're going to find out today if Healthline, because they always put out good quality shit. Healthline does. Oh my God, I'm going to get triggered rigging this. What'd you make me do, Davinsky? What'd you make me do? Attention deficit hyperactivity disorder is a complex neurodevelopmental disorder that can affect your child's success at school as well as their relationships. Symptoms of ADHD vary, and some are difficult to recognize. Or maybe we're just classifying people for being dickheads, but, you know, hey, we got to have a label for everything. Let's go down to this. Self-focused behavior. This can lead to the next 2 sides. Interrupting and trouble waiting their turn. Maybe in a conversation. Maybe I got it. Maybe I'm ADHD. Thanks, Healthline. What kind of pills do I need to go on? Interrupting. Self-focusing behavior may cause a child with ADHD to interrupt others while they're talking or butt into conversations or they might just be a fucking asshole or narcissistic or something. I mean, yeah, that's a thing. We'll see. I'm detecting a theme. I mean, 3 of these are like one symptom. Trouble waiting their turn. Kids with ADHD may have trouble waiting their turn during classroom activities or when playing. I don't think I have trouble waiting my turn. I've waited my turn on all kinds of things. I'm not the dickhead cutting in line, though I do have veins pop out of my head when I see someone cut me in line. I don't know what that qualifies. Emotional turmoil. A child with ADHD may have trouble keeping their emotions in check. They have outbursts of anger at inappropriate times. Younger children may have temper tantrums. Oh, that's not me. I'm definitely way more calm than I was on the standard American diet, so maybe standard American diet equals ADHD. Fidgetiness. Children with ADHD can't sit still. They may try to get up and run around, fidget, squirm in the chair when forced to sit. This isn't me. I'm not fidgeting. I spend an unusually long period of time in this chair, too. And I don't fidget at all. I do talk with my hands, though. So there's that. Problems playing quietly. I can play quietly. So I think I'm good at playing quietly. I do that every day. Unfinished tasks. A child with ADHD may show interest in lots of different things, but may have problems finishing them. For example, they may start projects, chores, or homework, but move on to the next thing that catches their interest before finishing. Maybe? Partially, this is true for me. I do have a wide array of interests, but the problem is it's not that I lose interest in anything, it's that I get interested in more things than I have time to do. Like for right now, I'm still interested in making music, but I haven't had time to do that. I'm interested in playing fucking video games, but I haven't had time to do that this week. I've been editing pictures all week. Lots of pictures. Too many pictures. But I always get back to it, to the things I'm really interested in. Like I'll go around in circles. Like I'll devote a lot of time to this activity, and a lot of time to that activity. I've been spending a lot of time the last couple of days figuring out which one of these cameras I'm taking with me on the road. This might be the winner. So I've been kind of obsessing about cameras for the past week or so to kind of figure out how to do my road trip and vlog it successfully. So there might be some of that. Lack of focus. Child with ADHD might have trouble paying attention. Even when someone is speaking directly to them, they'll say they heard you, but then won't be able to repack what you... Well, that might just be because the person's talking is fucking boring. So yeah, I do that. I don't know if that's a lack of focus, because if I'm interested in what they're saying, I'm pretty focused. I can repeat everything they said and counterpoint it. But at the same time, if someone's talking and then I'm not interested in what they're saying, it's going to be like right through me. I don't know. This is a questionable diagnosis. Avoidance of tasks needing extended mental effort. Well, if that was the case, I wouldn't be a fucking YouTuber, that's for sure. So I don't think that's it. In fact, I get into things where I'm learning new shit or that really test my mental level. So I don't think that applies. You know, I'm always learning. I'm always taking tutorials. I'm always trying new technical things and learning about new things. It's not me. So I don't think I qualify. I don't know how many of these you got to get to win. Mistakes. Children with ADHD have trouble following instructions that require planning or executing a plan. This can lead to careless mistakes, but it doesn't indicate laziness or lack of intelligence. Depends on the clarity of the instructions, but I'm pretty decent at planning and kind of sticking to the plan. So I don't know. Maybe that's a little bit of me. I don't know. Daydreaming. Children with ADHD aren't always rambunctious and loud. Another sign of ADHD is being quieter and less involved with other kids. A child with ADHD may stare into space, daydream, and ignore what's going on around them. I don't think a lot of this even goes on anymore. I think everybody just stares at their phone. So there's that. I know you were joking, Dubinsky. I still think it's an interesting thing to ask of yourself. Do you have ADHD? Because everyone self-diagnoses or something themselves. So, yeah. I just was curious. That's why I went down to this rabbit hole, mainly. I want to know how many of these I can tick off. So far, not too many. Trouble getting organized. A child with ADHD might have trouble keeping track of tasks and activities. This may cause problems at school as they can find it hard to prioritize homework and school projects and blah, 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 blah. I am not the most organized motherfucker on the planet. So maybe I got ADHD. I don't know. Healthline, help me. Help me. I just had a vegetable police moment there. I'm sorry. watch too much of his shit. Forgetfulness. Kids with ADHD might be forgetful in daily activities. They may forget to do their chores. I'm pretty good at remembering the shit I gotta do every day, so I wouldn't say that qualifies. Symptoms in multiple settings. Child with ADHD will show symptoms of the condition in more than one setting. For instance, lack of focus in both school and at home. I don't know. I think this is kind of a vague way of categorizing people that have other problems. There's a whole lot of different causes to a lot of these different symptoms, is my point. So I don't know that ADHD is really a thing. I think it's just how we label people that exhibit a bunch of these symptoms. Which means we can't narrow it down to a cause or heal it, in my book. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. Thanks, Healthline. You really helped diagnose the motherfucker. There's an adult version of the... Yeah, but what fun is that? I want to know how I'm going to do in school. There's less of the moving around. Dubinsky, I was joking. I didn't mean to send you down there. It's all right, Dubinsky. I was happy to go down that rabbit hole. It was kind of fun. Holy shit. What have I done to Scott? I'm good. I'm all right. Yelva, I've had most of those symptoms. I still don't think I have. I don't think... Most people that say they have ADHD probably don't. And most people that label other people might just be putting a label on somebody. I don't know that we can categorize all of those symptoms into one diagnosis. You know, what about somebody with severe anxiety? They might exhibit some of those symptoms. What about somebody that's a narcissist? They would exhibit some of those. You know, and I see a lot of those symptoms all the time in the world from people. Like even today, you know, I've been selling my GoPro, right? So I put a thing on Facebook, the Facebook Marketplace. Well, sure enough, I get people messaging me about my fucking GoPro. And they're like, you know, how low will you go on this? I priced it at $230. It's $330 brand new. It's a good fucking camera still. It's $200 for the 6. Leaving that aside, I had 2 people try to talk me down. You know, one got downright angry with me about it. I'm like, dude, I put $230 in the fucking price. It was on the fucking page. If you didn't want to pay $230, then fuck off. But no, they wanted to argue with me. They're like, well, you can get it at Best Buy for $310. And I've been in Best Buy. I was just in there the other day to buy some fucking added additions for my gear. So, and I look to see if I got fucked over when I bought my 8 off the internet. So they're bitching at me, and they're like, oh, I could get a well, then go over there, motherfucker. I'm not changing my price. Well, I didn't. And wouldn't you know it, that suddenly Facebook pulled my ad off of the marketplace saying I might be selling stuff that doesn't meet with their fucking guidelines. I'm like, it's a fucking action camera. I'm not selling like a pound of weed or something. I'm not like selling anything illegal. I'm selling a camera. How is that? And so I fucking appealed it, and they said they would take 48 hours. They did it in one day because I was triggered. I was like, motherfuckers, you pulled my shit off. How am I supposed to sell this fucking thing? I'm trying to get it sold before I go on the road. And sure enough, it was probably because that one motherfucker was triggered because I didn't take my price down for him. I'm like, no, I don't need to sell it that bad. You know? But it's a thing. It's, you know, people are dicks. And I don't think we can just label them with a label. Some people are just dicks. And there's multiple factors that can cause somebody to be a dick. So, I don't know. That's my thoughts on mental health today. Yeah, I didn't know I could get banned off the marketplace for selling something, Foo. It's fucking interesting. Thank you for the 2D fucking fruity double delta. Not an expert, just an asshole syndrome. Foo, I was diagnosed by the psychiatrist as an adult on the standard diet, and medication helped a lot on keto. on keto don't need the medication. So you got off the meds? Is that what you're saying there? That's what it sounds like. And let's see, an expert going through. Thank you for the ice cream, Dog Fathers. I didn't even know you were here. You didn't comment. And I addressed that video you sent me earlier. This one here, if I can show you. But yeah, if you go back in the replay, I talked about Thomas DeLauer talking shit about OMAD. Too long didn't watch. He doesn't know what the fuck he's talking about. He quoted a rat study that wasn't even based on keto in terms of 1 meal a day. And yeah, 1 meal a day, if that's your one meal, what she's eating right there, probably going to cause inflammation, cause a drop in metabolism. Just my thoughts. So yeah, there's that. All right, I think I have talked long enough. Got all caught up with the chat. I want to say, remember, I am not a fucking expert. DeLauer sucks ass. I'm totally leaving that up for the outro. I'm not an expert. I'm just a fucking asshole. Thomas DeLauer, also not an expert. Just an asshole. Cole Robinson, not an expert. Fucking asshole. We're all assholes here on YouTube and DLive or anywhere else that we're talking our shit. Do your own homework, but don't just stop there. As we've seen today, even doing your own homework, you're going to run into some bad information. And you need to think critically of everything you read out there. And really look for the flaws in it. Who funded what you're writing or reading? Who's paying the bills? What ads are you seeing on the page? You know, these are all factors in how you should weigh the evidence. And I still believe anecdotal evidence is the strongest evidence we currently have. What's working for people? What's helping people? What's helping a lot of people? What are their commonalities? You're going to have little variances, but there's going to be things that people that are healing, losing weight, dealing with mental health issues, all of these people are showing improvements, and they're telling you how they did it. We're in that day and age now where it's easy for us to communicate, for now. And, wow, this Tutti Frutti's still going? We're in this place where we can communicate, and don't worry, I'll open the chest. You and Double Delta, you in that chest. Learn. Do your homework. Don't just take my word for it. Don't take Thomas DeLauer's word for it. Look around at the people who have changed their lives. What have they done? What can you do that they
Greatest
did?
American ever lived.
Thank you, Yelva, for the diamond. You guys have been awesome for this stream. I was all like, nobody funded videos
You
next
wouldn't be
week.
fucking with me now, would you?
So now I can just chop this up because you guys funded the videos for the week. So there's that. Thanks for the lemon, Gyro Spin Up. So what it comes down to, find the people that are the most successful at something you want to do, and then do
Greatest
what they
American
did.
ever lived.
And you won't have to read shit from Yale or Oxford or Harvard to figure out what the hell you're supposed to do for your health. That's the gist of it. Don't put it on any of your YouTube experts. They are a starting point. The end point, it really does boil down to you, the things you try to do, and yeah. So now I gotta proceed with my YouTube outro. Please like and subscribe for more shit. And I'll make more shit.
Greatest American
So
ever
much
lived.
shit. Thanks, Yelva, for some diamonds and shit. Thanks, Dubinsky, for another diamond and shit. They're also helping me make more shit. But if you found this enlightening and you want me to make more videos for YouTube, head to ScottTheTruckDriver.com, leave a tip in the virtual tip jar, and for every $20, I will fund up to 4 videos per week. Cutoffs are on Sunday. Anything more than that, after it's fully funded, becomes a tip for that week. So right now we're at a nice healthy goose egg for next week, but turns out you're going to get some videos anyway because we filmed this. Head to ScottTheTruckDriver.com to keep up with everything I do through my email list. It's completely free, plus you get access supposedly, if somebody's having problems downloading them, but to a whole bunch of audio podcasts that I previously recorded that were previously for sale behind a paywall. Now they're there for free. All you got to do is sign up for my email list, and you get access to all of those, and I'm going to have to go and make sure they're all working properly now. Hopefully they are. So there's that. Join the subscriber lounge. You'll get the password in the next email I send out, which will be around the next time I stream. So be patient. You're not going to get an email right away. But as long as you're on the list, you'll get the next email that goes out, which has the password. Password does change from month to month. All right. Did I forget anything? Yeah. No, I think we're good. My ADHD's good. I think I've stuck to my plan, got through the video. So and for those of you on the ND Live, stick around. I'm going to open the chest and do a little bit more chatting and shit. But then I'm going to log off pretty soon. It's almost 3 hours now. Have a nice... Thank you for the motherfucking ice cream. Somehow I'll get through this. Have a nice motherfucking day. And shit. I'll be right back to those of you here in the stream.